Welcome everyone to this Listening Part 6 Viewpoints Analysis. Before we get started, I want to let you know that I will be following the Tips and Strategies guide that we can find in our CELPIP library, Listening Part 6 Understanding Viewpoints section. And in that section, there is this guide which will give you more tips and strategies and guide you with some more effective ways to complete Part 6 more effectively. So if you would like to watch that video, I will leave a link in the description box to the CELPIP library for some practice and also for that video. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to be briefly going over the guide, which tells us how to listen effectively. Yes, for this part, full sentence mode, not vocabulary mode, very important. Higher levels, we can do this more easily. Of course, what information to focus on, very important to understand the differences in the views. What are the differences? Yes. And how can we read the questions? Right, we need to read the questions to understand and repeat them more clearly. Okay. How can we respond to questions? What should we focus on? What kind of words should we be analyzing? Okay. And how can we select the answers more clearly? Okay. Idea association, definitely more important than vocabulary association. Okay, for now, let's get started with today's analysis. Okay, everyone, I'm just here in the Listening Part 6 Understanding Viewpoints section of the CELPIP library. Okay, and so I just want to remind you that Listening Part 6 is more focused on CLB 7 or higher. That means that students who need to get 7 or higher, definitely if you need to get 9 or higher, you should definitely be focusing on this section, okay? All right, and also today we are going to be doing a sample from Volume 2. It's called Canadian Agriculture. And also I want to remind you that I am going to be giving you a chance to listen to the audio and answer the questions on your own. First, you will do that, and I will show you the questions and answers. And after that, we are going to be analyzing together. Okay? So let's get started. Okay, everyone. I'm just going to zoom in here. Don't forget that in the real exam, you don't have the audio and the questions on the same page. In our examples here, you do. But we shouldn't be looking at the questions, okay? So, first we're going to listen to the lecture, okay? And it says here you will hear a report about an agricultural issue in Canada. So I will let you listen to the lecture and you can take some notes and try to focus exactly on what are the different views provided and how are they different, okay? Then after that, we're going to have 4 minutes. There's 6 questions. So then that's about 40 seconds per question. And I have a timer here, so I'm going to be timing 40 seconds per question. But really, in the real exam, it only says 4 minutes. Okay? And so you got to time yourself. And I'm going to be also reading the answers for you, okay? So you can read at the same time. All right, let's get started by listening to the audio.
Listening for viewpoints. You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
Rebecca Hogue is a Saskatchewan wheat farmer. Her income dropped by 30% this year despite great weather and a bumper crop. What went wrong? Hogue blames changes in the Canadian Wheat Board. In past decades, this former federal agency controlled the supply and hence the price of wheat. It determined to whom, how much, and for what price farmers could sell this crop. Selling a predetermined quota of wheat exclusively to the marketing board, farmers were guaranteed a reasonable price even when world wheat market prices were low. But the federal government recently made the wheat board a private corporation. With wheat supply regulation a thing of the past, wheat farmers now compete on the open market. However, cheese, milk, beef, pork, poultry, and eggs continue to be regulated by approximately 80 government-run marketing boards, some federal, some provincial, some both. Mackenzie Institute researcher Vince Levin says these government-run farm marketing boards drive up food prices to an artificially high level. Canadians pay twice what people in other countries pay for dairy products of the same quality, according to Levin. This is tough on restaurants needing to minimize food supply costs to be profitable. But what's needed is not just lower food prices. Canadians want a wider range of products too, says Levin. In his view, agricultural marketing boards also make it hard for new farmers to start up and enter the market. For Levin, the only way forward is an immediate halt to government-led price fixing. Not so fast, warns business journalist Eric Malinsky, who notes that free market agriculture means farmers can and do go bankrupt. Resulting government farm bailouts are expensive for governments and taxpayers alike. That's a fiscal risk that governments have to factor into any deregulation scenario, says Malinsky. He adds that shutting down or selling off Canada's 80-odd farm marketing boards could take decades to achieve. However, with a gradual approach, any resulting price fluctuations could be gradual enough to maintain market stability. Begging to differ is Rebecca Hogue. Her family wheat farm has struggled since deregulation. As a consumer, she's not anxious to see other Canadian agricultural marketing boards privatized. Hogue thinks that forcing Canadian farmers to compete with major players on the international open market discourages family farms, especially ones producing specialty crops or livestock varieties that otherwise can't fetch premium prices. Hogue says deregulation also encourages an increase in factory farms based on standardized products and economy of scale. This means more pesticides, more antibiotics, and more genetically modified organisms bred to produce maximum yield per acre or pound.
Okay, very interesting. So now I'm just gonna zoom in and so you can see the answers better. And again, we're gonna have 40 seconds between questions. Okay, everyone? Before becoming a private company, the Wheat Board assisted farmers when production was low, bought farmers wheat at prearranged prices, marketed each farmer's whole wheat crop, matched local prices to world wheat prices. Okay, so what about number 2? Let's look at number 2. Researcher Vince Levin believes government regulation limits development, dairy foods should be strictly regulated, farm marketing boards help restaurants, consumers demand higher food quality. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to number 3. Which policy would Vince Levin probably support? Fixed pricing for Canadian dairy products, high interest rates on loans to new farmers, marketing training for new farmers starting up, tougher fines by federal food inspection agencies. Okay. Okay, so now question 4. Journalist Eric Malinsky supports moving cautiously toward free market agriculture, increasing the availability of bailouts for farmers, extending price regulation to other food products, eliminating marketing boards as quickly as possible. Hmm. Okay, question 5. Wheat farmer Rebecca Hogue wants bigger farms with maximum production, a privatized farm marketing board, international open market monitoring, price protection for specialty crops. Okay, so now let's go to question 6. Who would most likely disagree with Rebecca Hogue? Large companies producing pesticides for farmers, international farmers exporting products to Canada, financially struggling restaurant owners, specialty crop farmers on family run farms. Okay, then, everyone. So now let's get to reviewing our answers. Okay. Okay, so before becoming a private company, the Wheat Board assisted farmers when production was low, maybe bought farmers' wheat at prearranged prices, maybe 2, marketed each farmer's whole wheat crop, matched local prices to world wheat prices. I think it's not D, but A or B, I believe it's more B. Let's have a look at the script. So it says over here, okay, in past decades, this former federal agency controlled the supply and hence the price of wheat. So they controlled the price of wheat. So whatever it was, it determined to whom, how much, and for what price farmers could sell this crop. So this means that the wheat board controlled the price of the wheat. So that answer is more B. Not talking about production there and not marketing, okay? Researcher Vince Levine believes government limits or restricts or prohibits or controls development. Dairy food should be strictly regulated. I don't think it's regulated, strongly controlled. I don't think so because he disagreed with government regulation. Farm marketing boards help restaurants. I think I heard the opposite. Consumers demand higher food quality. Not that one. I don't think so. So it says over here, Levine says government run farm marketing boards drive up food prices. Okay. And Canadians pay twice what people in other countries pay for dairy products of the same quality. That's very true. Food is very expensive in Canada at restaurants. It's very difficult to have street food, for example. This is tough on restaurants, so they don't help the restaurants. So then I see here no and no. So maybe further down. Okay, right here. In his view, agricultural marketing boards also make it hard for new farmers to start up and enter the market. Right. So for Levine, the only way forward is an immediate halt or stop. Halt or stop to government-led price fixing. So the answer here would be A. Why A? Limits development. So it means government control stops growth and development of farmers, basically. Limits, or it's hard for new farmers to start up. So limits, reduces, restricts. Which policy would Vince Levine probably support? Fixing pricing for Canadian dairy products? Probably not. He doesn't want to fix prices. He wants no right. Fixed prices means controlling the price. High interest rates on loans? No. He wants new farmers, so not high interest rates. Marketing, training for new farmers starting up? Probably because he wants to promote new farmers, more business. Tougher fines by federal food, not food inspection agencies. So the answer should be C again, because he wants to have a more of a free market farming, which it's true, we don't really have that in Canada. Canada is a free market economy, but surprisingly, in some areas, like the food industry, it's very difficult. Okay, and health as well. Let's move on to number 4. Journalist Eric Molinsky supports moving cautiously towards free market agriculture. I think Molinsky supported increasing the availability of bailouts for farmers. Bailouts are when the government steps in and provides funding to keep businesses going. Extending price regulation to other food products. So controlling the cost of other food products, or eliminating marketing boards as quickly as possible. I remember Not So Fast warns Eric Molinsky, who notes that free market agriculture means farmers can and do go bankrupt. So he doesn't want free market agriculture, and it says it's a financial risk for governments, that resulting in bailouts, and which could be expensive. He adds shutting down or selling off Canada's 80-odd farm marketing boards could take decades to achieve. However, with a gradual approach, any resulting price fluctuations could be gradual enough. So gradual, that's the key. So slowly, gradually, cautiously moving towards free markets. That's what he means here. Wheat farmer Rebecca Hogue wants bigger farms with maximum production. Probably not. She's a private wheat owner or farmer. A privatized farm marketing board. I think in the beginning she said she preferred regulation. International open market, no price protection for specialty crops. I think it would be D, but let's double check. Her family wheat farm, so she's a family-run wheat farm, struggled since deregulation. So when deregulation came, she struggled. Okay, so that's not good for her. And she's not so anxious to see other Canadian agriculture marketing boards privatized, so she doesn't want that. Thanks, Hogue thinks that forcing Canadian farmers to compete with major players on the international market discourages family farms. So she's against international free market agriculture. And okay, Hogue says deregulation also encourages an increase in factory farms based on standardized products and economies of scale, especially ones producing specialty crops or livestock varieties that otherwise can fetch premium prices can get. So, right. So she is in favor of. Oh, sorry. I almost made a mistake here. Disagree with. Okay, I didn't see. We need to read the question carefully, everyone. Who would most likely disagree with Rebecca Hogue? Okay, international farmers. So that's the opposite. So I thought she agreed with. So what would she agree with? No, no. She would agree with specialty crop farmers, but who would most likely disagree with Rebecca Hogue? International farmers exporting products to Canada. Okay. So, right. Because international farmers, they want a free, open market economy so they can export products to Canada and compete in the market. But Rebecca Hogue doesn't want that. She wants more regulation and control of that. So, agriculture is a big problem worldwide in terms of trading and marketing. Okay. So, I think we've got them all here. Let's submit that. Okay, good. 6 from 6. Okay, everyone. So, very important analyzing. Of course, we don't have enough time, right? This is the thing. We don't have enough time. But with more practice, we should be able to do this kind of analyzing quickly, okay, when you're doing it in the exam. All right, so now everyone, I do want to tell you that to practice, I'm going to leave a link in the description box to version 2 of this listening so you can practice. You can listen to it again yourself and you can answer the questions, which are different questions and different answers, okay? And also, there will be a link there to the CELPIP library. The CELPIP library, again, for those of you who need 7 or higher, the library part 6 is very important, and there are well over 50 to 60 examples here. Current and past CELPIP exams, okay, as well as our own examples. Plus, there are also version 2s like we have, so could be nearly 100 examples. So everyone, I encourage you to sign up to the CELPIP library. It's very low cost. Okay, and let's not forget, practice makes perfect. I would like to remind you that if you're looking for some more listening, reading, writing, or speaking CELPIP exam practice, then you should definitely subscribe to our CELPIP library. The CELPIP library has hundreds of examples of listening, reading, writing, and speaking, which will help you develop your score, whatever the score you need. Also, the library contains vocabulary, listening skills, reading skills, grammar, and writing skills exercises, which will really help you improve your general understanding of English and also for the exam. So, and you can purchase a 1 month pass or a 2 month or a 3 month subscription for a very low price. And of course, if you really enjoyed this content, then please like this video, share it, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way we will keep on producing more CELPIP analysis for your development. Have a great day.